Okay, I'm back again. I know, more bloody videos. What's going on? I found a new thing and I can't stop making them. Straight back with World War II US Airborne Collector. I think his videos are great and he has some amazing items. I just want to see more personally. This is about World War II US Airborne map case. I have grabbed mine, the same as we did with the Musette bag. I haven't opened mine. I think everything's inside, but we will find out. Let's see if mine resembles anything like his. Obviously, he's coming from a collecting aspect, and I'm coming from a living historian aspect. So there should be some things different. Obviously, a lot of my stuff will be reproduction. His stuff will all be original, so there will be some things I will have that he definitely won't have, because I will have reproductions of it because the originals just, you know, they're not out there. So let's hit play and see what he's got to say.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, World War II Airborne Collector. You can also check me out on Instagram, and that is World War II Airborne Collector as well. Today I'm going to be discussing the US map case and what to look for when purchasing one, and what couple of little items you can pick up on your way to make your map case look a little bit more special. So, here it is. It's got US stamps on the front.
Yep.
On the back it's got two D-rings onto two spring-loaded clips to the shoulder strap. Also got a extra bit of padding, which is just a couple bits of canvas stitched together with some thinner canvas, using a couple of D-loops to fix that on.
Nice transition.
On the back,
it's
colour. Also got the manufacturer who made it, and also the year that it was made, and this one is a nice 1942 dated one.
Yeah, so is mine. Have Stitch Co. 1942.
Yeah, so that is the map case. So inside, what you might expect to find in the map case. So we've got some pencils.
Yes, definitely
got red colour, blue and green.
Yep.
Now with these, now with the makers of the pencils, these are all US made, and they're all early 1940s to mid 1940s design and manufacture. Now, so this is then where it comes a bit of a crossover when you need to do a bit more research now. So they're all civilian made pencils. Yep. And the US made them, then issued them to the troop, to the soldiers, or the soldier might...
Yeah, needless to say, there's no US Army official paratrooper pencils. And if Soldier of Fortune or anybody tells you otherwise, bang your head on the table.
Might have even gone out and probably purchased the same pencil, because he's obviously ran out and he thought, oh, I like this particular brand, that's what I'm used to, and he's went out and bought that. So you've got to then look into the market. This is then when it's like massive now. You then start looking at it, like this is when your evenings get taken up on looking at different pencil makers and manufacturers. That's when you know you've hit a bit of a moment in life. That's what I end up doing. So that's there.
It's so true. You do end up looking at the most bizarre things in this hobby.
I mean, that was the same as well about, I can't even get it out now, the mechanical Scripto pencil.
Oh, that's funny. I've not.
There's two collector guide books out there that are definitely you should get. It's volume 1 and volume 2. I think it's called the GI Collector's Guide.
Yeah, red and green.
They're really good. Really worth getting. Now the volume 2 shows a lot more different brands of pencils and stuff like that, and now that does give you a bit of a kickstart on what to look for. But like I say, that is a mechanical pencil. That is a late 1930s design.
Yard of lead,
and
1930s.
In, obviously the 40s, and then it then changed again. And literally the change of design is all to do with this little clip here. But yeah, it's that sort of stuff that you need to do some research. But there is loads of other different forums about pencils, believe it or not. So then obviously with that, then we've got Scriptums, or Scripto, however you pronounce that. Extra change lead for the pencils, and then there's another couple of other different brands there, but the list goes on. And then this is another cool thing that's quite hard to find. This is like a crayon pencil.
Yeah.
I never knew about this until a good friend of mine was at a show in Belgium, and he was like, cool, look at that, that is what you need to add to your collection. And I bought it, and then it weren't till after I realised actually what it was. So,
the perspex.
How it works is you don't obviously use a pencil sharpener, you literally just pull, it's like a really long thin bit of wood that's then rolled up to make or it's just rolled up with a bit of crayon in the middle, and how you use it, you just literally pull the ends off to sharpen it as you go along. Now that is actually used to write on your grid reference on your maps. Now I'll show you that in a minute. And then I've got a couple of other different spare pencils, wartime. In here I've also then got the messaging book.
Mine's over there because I haven't got reproduction ones at the moment. I don't want to get the original one trashed.
Which is good. And then I've also got in here is a box full of rubbers.
Yeah, I keep an eraser and a sharpener inside a metal cigarette tin. Yeah, more spare chewing gum, obviously because it's dry. A couple of tiny pencils and a rubber.
That is a quite nice little thing to get. And then there they are inside. Another nice little item to stick in there, what they would have carried. Obviously, most importantly in a map case, is a map. Now, this obviously isn't the best map in the world. I've still got to purchase one of the original maps, but they are stupendously stupid money at the minute.
Yeah, I made my own doing graphic design work for years. I got original, not original copies, but scans of original copies, and then had my own printed on huge. In fact, that is the same scale map as he just pulled out for. Oh, trying to move my fingers one way for France. Then there is, which is this one. This is 1943 Carentan. These are the most common ones that the paratroopers had, obviously, because it's the ones I need. Some Meriglis. You can just about see a Gliese. And obviously, you know, I can chuck these around and it doesn't matter if they get ripped or torn because they are reproductions. I can lay these in the grass. Next is Sainte Marie de Mont. I think this is 44, April 44. And this is sheet 65. Oh, it's the weirdest La Huide de Puit. I'm probably going to pronounce that really badly, but it's a bit further out, and you've got all the important places like you can't see, or you might be able to see Carentan right in the centre. Some Meriglis is on this side, so it's a really good overall sort of map. It contains all the places you will have heard about, all the places mentioned in Bandwagon of Brothels. And if you've read any grown-up books as well, you'll soon see all of these names and how all these places tie in together. If anybody wants these maps, I do sell them on eBay, or just send me a message and I can do you a better price. Oh, sorry, there's actually 6. Isigny. And again, this is all around the same area. Carentan is to the far left, whereas that one is to the far right. So if you lay them all out, you get a whole overview of that whole region. So yeah, maps in a map case, got to be done.
But yeah, 1944 dated French road map for the US Army. And then the other part of the map case that usually you don't find, it's a bit of a bonus if you do when trying to find a map case, is the actual grid reference that slides in the back. So you take that out, and then you can then put your map inside.
Yep.
Opens like that. And then that is then when you use
with that pencil. Yeah.
I can't find it now. It's a cool little pencil. But then go, oh, they are there. But yeah, pretty cool. So that is pretty much the map case and the internal grid.
Oh, is that all you want in it?
Which then slides in the back. And I'll show you this as well. Now there is several different compartments in that. So that's for the grid reference in the back. Thought you can drop something then. And inside for more maps. Some more paperwork and notepads and stuff. And then you got the one at the front. And then at the front, put all your pencils in. Now there are 2 items missing from this map case. that I am in desperate need of finding, but they are so rare to get hold of, is a scale ruler and a protractor. Other than that, that is a relatively pretty complete map case. So yeah, so I hope this video has been a little bit helpful and gave you a little bit of a rough insight of what to look for. But like I say, all the little individual stuff, it's all mainly civilian. There was never really the US Army went, we're going to need a special company to make the pencils. They just literally went to a normal pencil company.
They just bought pencils. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, same as the crickets. They just went to a company that made them and went, right, we want however many you've got, and then make us another however many they ordered. Yeah, there's no special paratrooper pencils or even army pencils.
Army pencils. Pretty much how it went. So like I say, that's a bit of a field on its own to go looking at, but yeah, that's the map case. Hope you found this interesting. If not, then
tough shit.
I don't know, but yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Yeah, when you look at the pictures of the paratroopers going to the planes with map cases, the things are absolutely solid. They look like small green fridges. I mean, they are absolutely bulked out to the max. If you look at the side of how full, I mean, if it goes right over, how full that actually is, you cannot. I mean, it just does up. You cannot get anything else in there. So I've got a lot more in mind then. I'll go over that small bag in a minute. So the maps go in the very back. The next compartment is full of envelopes, spare paper, writing paper, American Red Cross paper, and then two of, so that's the which one? 43 inside is the invasion maps, and then 44. I don't know the difference. I made them. There's just literally full of folded paper inside, so they look and they contain something. Oh, what else is in there? Oh, of course. Don't have the sliding ruler he's on about. I have a standard, folding wooden ruler. Original pocketbook. I've got a whole pile of these upstairs that I bought as a big job lot. Everybody's got to have something to read while you're sat around invading another country. In the next section is a random leaflet in French. I have no idea what it means. It's some sort of propaganda not dropped by Eisenhower, but it's got his name on it. Les armies allies de Bequent. I don't know what on earth. It's something to do with we're probably going to invade soon, as well as handbook on German army identification, because being an officer I've got to tell everybody what we're doing and what they are. Two versions of the intelligence bulletin that contain useful things. That's August 43, and this one would be the most up-to-date one for Normandy, which is May 44. I doubt that the June edition would have been out before June 5th, and they certainly probably wouldn't have taken it anywhere. Everything in them is not classified. If you've not seen these are really, really interesting. I've got a whole pile of original ones. The idea being they put everything that they learnt about the enemy in these, and then they print them and they hand them around, and it says on them, pass this on. My fingers are in the way, so I'm an idiot. Or it says share this copy, and these are designed to be shared around not just amongst officers but amongst men, and it contains everything you can possibly imagine. Just as some examples, Japanese defences, and how a Fiji patrol got 47 Japs, dummy installations, lots of Japanese in this one, food containers, German field defences observed in Italy, German enemy tactics, types of mines encountered in Italy, German soldier tells of the battle for Agria, obviously the story that probably came from a prisoner of war. Yes, exactly it. He was a Panzer Grenadier. German efforts to break United Nations security. German views on the use of the MG42. Again, that would have come from prisoners of war. German tripwire alarms. Stick grenades, defensive model 1924. So they contain a lot, but there's nothing in there that the enemy doesn't already know. So you're not telling them, hey, look, we've discovered these secrets. Obviously, the Enigma machine and things like that that don't get mentioned. It's only things that the enemy knows you already know. So if the enemy were to capture one of these, they learn absolutely nothing. They only learn that we already know things, but things that do not matter, like the Germans don't care that we know how their grenades work. It makes no difference. My infraction book, and also all my notes on how to teach drill, all that sort of things, who's in the unit, their serial numbers, what else, and yeah, all bits and pieces get scribbled down in here, but also the infractions of our group members who do things naughty. Let's stick those back in here. So that's that other pouch. Oh, also a deck of playing cards. Put that back in there. In the next pouch is another huge wad of paper. We're in rain France, don't forget. So my French phrase book. And then, being an officer, I take every piece of useful German document that I find, including German documents in enemy as in the British and the American, armour, how to identify them. What on earth is this? Another German document, and it's something to do with Panzerwaffe, so tank weapons. Another captured document on something to do with armoured cars and radio communications, I believe. A German manual on egg grenades. A German radio manual. Do that one in a minute. One of those folding maps that you're supposed to fold so that it gives you a downwards view on the drop zone. So if you fold it along all these lines so they were clear, it would make like a bowl shape, and that would be directly beneath you. And then if you look at different angles, you would see along to these places. So that's what you're supposed to see as you're going towards the ground. And I've just noticed that Holdy is actually mentioned on this. I'll have to point that out later. That's really cool. Holdy being the battery that the 502 took. Summary de Mont Holdy. That's okay. I never noticed that before. I love folding maps back up. Like that, like that, like that. That'll do. It's close enough. And then a reproduction sold book, and it's all filled out, to some SS Panzer Grenadier. The whole thing is all filled out. There's a guy in the Czech Republic who makes these, and you know what? They're actually really, really good. They take him ages to make, but they are fantastic. And a few other bits and pieces. The manual for an MG34. Schwer Granatwerfer, so a heavy mortar, heavy grenade launcher, one of the two, I'm not sure which one. And a really, really unusual manual that I had reprinted, which is the most common shortcomings in the training of battalion and regimental S2 personnel and suggestions on how to overcome these. S2 personnel are the intelligence guys, so the guys that would deal with prisoners of war, reconnaissance, lots of combat orders, and those sort of things. And the problems, this was all about solving the problems that have been discovered throughout the early stages of the war. 1943 this was published, so it comes from sort of 42 onwards. Yeah, a lot of it is quite dull, but then there is some real gems hidden amongst all the waffle. And then last of all, another notepad, writing paper. I don't think there's anything written in it. No. Where the hell did all this just come from? Oh, the very front. Oh, and then of course more chewing gum, because you can never have too much chewing gum. And of course the chewing gum gets eaten as well, because obviously inside each one of these little packets, are these all the same? Yeah, of course they are. Oh no, they're not. There's two different types of Wrigley's. There's the normal sort of spearmint type, and then the what's that, the cinnamon stuff. It's all juicy fruit, because, you know, if it doesn't taste flavourful and sweet, then I don't want to know. Now, in my little strange brown bag, being a natural pack rat and hoarder, it's full of original German items that I have acquired, liberated, West War medal, silver wound badge, sports badge, general assault badge, shoulder slide for 146 as a black engineers, medal ribbons, War Merit Cross, and it's one of the occupation ones, Memel medal, I believe, German belt buckle, Panzer officer shoulder title, a vet's officer shoulder title, infantry assault badge, Erkensmarken, German dog tags. That is to a signals replacement unit, a motorised artillery unit, and a slightly more interesting one, which is a Panzerjäger unit, replacement unit, so tank hunters. 7th light blue transport unit shoulder title, infantry, what's that, I can't remember what the L is, with shoulder slide, blue medical NCO shoulder title, yeah, I know there's loads of it in here, a senior officer, I think it might be a major, yellow is cavalry, I believe, and then a collar, officer's collar tab, yeah, to that's the matches the veteran one, and then a real junior NCO rank pip, and that's my pile of illegally acquired loot, because this sort of stuff shouldn't be taken from prisoners. Of course it was, but as I'm a proper pack rat, you know, this really does suit my sort of nature of, if it's not bolted down, it's mine. So I had to have a little stash of goodies in my map case. Okay, let's just skid that in there and throw that out the way, because it's actually quite heavy. Yeah, so not a lot of similarities between the two, which isn't too much of a surprise. As I say, lots of the items, obviously the original items, are just not out there to buy, and if they are, they're crazy expensive, so it makes sense why they're not in his map case. I can just make them, so hence why I have them. It would be nice to get a proper ruler, a proper protractor, but you know, they're crazy money, and the chances of surviving inside my map case while I'm running around crashing about acting like an idiot as I do, I think they're end up in pieces. Okay, so 24 minutes talking about crap in a map case. Right, I hope that sort of gives you some idea of what to put in a map case, especially if you're airborne, you want it full. If you can get other things in it, then it's not full enough. You look at the pictures of the guys, they are full, literally jammed full. They're square, those map cases. So it gives you an idea of what to stash inside anyway. Right, until next time. Laters.